This is war for the spirit.
Okay, you have to be very conscious of your feelings and recognize that a lot of your feelings are coming from demonic activity. A lot of times your feelings are contrary to what the will of God is. And that's why a lot of times it's very difficult to get into the will of God, because it's going to be combative with your feelings. If your feelings dictate everything that you're going to do, your feelings are your God. If you only do what your feelings suggest, if it's something that needs to be done and you don't feel like it, you're going to recognize that every time certain things are presented to you, your feelings are going to be contrary to whatever the good thing is going on in your life, whatever God might be presenting to you. So you want to get a handle on emotional control. Emotional control is very important to how you dictate your life. If the only things that you do or don't do are relative to your feelings, you got to understand that the devil has a deep control over you. The spirits that you deal with will give you certain feelings, and they have an expectation of how you're going to respond. Regardless of the situation, if you start to feel something, even if it logically doesn't represent what it is that you're feeling, you'll respond to it in a way where, you know, you'll see things to justify what your feelings are. And many of us are under that spell of our own feelings. And you have to separate yourself from your feelings so that you can make sound, logical decisions. You can't make logical decisions when your feelings are at the forefront of your behavior. God wants you to have emotional control over yourself and try your best to align your feelings with the things that He suggests for you to do, the instructions He has given you to do. Find a way to be happy about what it is that God is suggesting for you to do and instructing for you to do, because if you do not, your feelings are always going to lead you astray and far from God. You're going to be most comfortable, most enjoyable dealing with the things that's going to mock God. Those are the jokes that's going to be funniest. Those are the things that's going to be most pleasurable when you're away and apart from God. And you're going to start to understand the world in a comfort, because your feelings are navigating you away from God, and they're going to feel good whilst doing so. So you have to step into some suffering, understand that initially, you know, when you first start fighting against your feelings, it's going to be sadness and other feelings that are contrary to how you want to feel as an attack for you emotionally. So when you first start doing things that are in the will of God, you might be sad, bored, depressed. You know, the feelings that you once held as your God are going to start attacking you. And under the attack that you're dealing with are going to be, you know, those same demons that made you feel good doing the things that you did. When you try to fast, when you try to focus your energy on something that's positive or suggestive of God, it's going to be a difficulty. They're going to make you sad. They're going to make you bored. They're going to make you frustrated. Whereas when you were living worldly, you weren't any of those things. You know, you could just be doing much of nothing, and you wouldn't have the feeling of boredom. You wouldn't have the feeling of depression or anxiety. So you have to recognize that those feelings are a part of your warfare in the spirit. Spiritually, you're going to have to deal with your emotions so that you can get into righteousness, so that you can develop yourself with God. So be mindful of that as you're making your day-to-day decisions, that your emotions are going to conflict with some of the things that God is suggesting for you to do. God is instructing for you to do. So please be mindful. You guys be good to God, and you let God be good to you. Please help grow the channel by liking, sharing, and subscribing.